Hi, this is obviously the finished look, but I just wanted to come on first and basically explain what I'm going to be doing today, which is I'm going to be showing you how to do like kind of flawless skin makeup with like concealer, and also I'm going to show you how to do eyeliner for hooded eyes, because I have hooded eyes and I also have two different shaped eyes, which I also explained in the beginning. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and let my past self explain to you how to do all of this. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so excuse how shiny I look. I've just put moisturizer on and I put some oil on my face because my skin gets really dry. So basically I'm going to be showing you how to do the most flawless kind of application of face makeup. And when I say that, I mean with concealer, because for me personally, I don't know why sponges and brushes don't work for me. I think it's just because I have slightly textured skin, not ridiculously textured, but like I have, you can't see because my camera's awful, but I have like, you know, like I have pores here, I have slightly bigger pores kind of around this area of my face, and I also have a bit of peach fuzz, which everyone has, but I just have some, and I just find that brushes and sponges, they just make my eye makeup look cakey, but I just prefer a more like skin-like look. So if that's what you want, I will show you how to do it. I'm presuming that this will work for everyone, but again, like it might not work on your skin. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to show you how to do eyeliner for hooded eyes, but first I'm going to do skin, obviously. So you're going to start off with your concealer. I'm using the Revolution Heartbreaker concealer, but I have also used this e.l.f. one, and it works exactly the same. It's kind of just like your preference, but I'd recommend like obviously a liquid concealer, not a stick one. So just apply, obviously, kind of as much as you feel comfortable with. I'm going to use two different colours. I'm going to use this one and then I'm going to use a white one, but it's literally just to add more highlight to my face. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fingers. Just remember that obviously you're not going to need as much maybe as you would use for like a sponge, because this is not going to absorb, like your fingers are not going to absorb any of the concealer. So essentially I take my middle finger and I just dab it in really lightly. Also I would start with like a moisturized base, especially if you have drier skin, just because it goes on better. So I know you probably can't see, but just dabbing it in with your finger, it just goes on so much better. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that, because I don't have like a primer on or anything, just in case you were wondering. So I can literally blend it out over here as well, and it'll still look normal. Like it'll look pretty much like skin. Like I've never like looked at my face and gone, oh my god, like it looks really cakey. And it lasts ages as well, but obviously there is another step to this. I'm just going to blend this in and then I'm going to apply my other concealer. You can literally apply another concealer over the top and it's not cakey at all and it blends in really well. Now I'm going to use the Makeup Obsession Mega Concealer. So you can mix and match concealers, it really doesn't matter, just make sure that they're probably like, I would recommend doing them with the same kind of consistency, because I've never done it with like a stick concealer. I just would imagine if you started mixing like textures, it probably wouldn't mix well. Go around here and then here. So I just kind of wanted to turn the camera around and just kind of show you that even as I'm blending it in, it still looks like skin. Do you know what I mean? Like, not exactly skin, but like your skin, but better. Okay, so I've blended everything in. I've just put on my eyeshadow primer. Now, this is the bit that's going to really lock it all in. So you need some type of brush. This is literally just an eyeshadow brush, but it works. Just a small one because it means you can really get in there. See, now my eyes crease like there's no tomorrow. So I find that this is great. So I use the Makeup Revolution. It's literally just the super matte fix powder. I don't know if it's any different to like the banana powders, but I just find that this one, because it's really light, I don't know what the colour is. I want to say lace. But it's all rubbed off. But anyway, this is great. I would recommend just anyone that kind of matches your skin tone. Don't use a translucent powder though, and I only say that because obviously then you get flashback. And with this, because it's not translucent, it does have a colour to it, it won't give you flashbacks, or at least it hasn't in my experience. So I just buy a big one because it's like £6 and it's massive, and I just pour it into like this old, ironically translucent powder pot that I bought from another brand. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a decent amount. It's going to get all over you, but just, you can brush it off, and you're just going to press it under your eyes. And I would recommend not breathing in when you do this. And just press like I don't know if I should swear. A shit ton. Press a shit ton under that, because it's going to lock it all in and it's going to make it look like skin again. And I'm also a really oily person, so like I feel like I need more. But obviously, like if you have kind of a drier complexion, you might not need as much, because obviously like you're not going to crease as much. So I just pack like a load under there, and then I also pack it on the sides of my nose. This is just mainly where I've put the most concealer. And then I pack it down here because you want it to set, you know. Loads down here. I pack the sides of my nose as well. Obviously, if you have piercings and stuff, like mine's fully healed, but obviously if you have like a healing piercing, I would recommend cleaning it afterwards. And then also around here as well. And pretty much you're good to go if you just leave it like that for a couple of minutes. So once I've kind of like set my eyeshadow primer with the same powder, I will then just take a bit more on a bigger brush and just like pat it on the kind of center bit where there's like less concealer, but there's still concealer there, because I'm going to put blush on, and I need it to be matte before I put the blush on. And then I'm also going to just powder my nose a little bit, because like I said, I'm an oily gal. I'm and I'm also dry. Really fun combination to have if you have it. I feel you, it's not fun. So I'm going to do the rest of my base makeup, and then I'm going to come back to you before I do my eyes, because that's when I sort of brush away all of the powder. And also, just if you cream contour, obviously do it before you set your makeup. Okay, so I've done everything else. What I'm going to do now before I do my eye makeup is just brush it away gently. I mean, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Just obviously don't be rough with your makeup, because, well, I mean, that shit's packed in there, so you'll probably be fine. And I take this again, and then I just kind of gently pat it, because obviously it's still dusty under there, and you don't want, like, I don't know, you don't want it to be dusty under there, but you don't want to like sweep it all away, because, you know, I hope I actually packed enough under there, because that'd be like really embarrassing if I'm showing you how to do it and I didn't even pack enough under there. And then I just wipe my nose ring with my finger, because it's covered in dustiness. I'm also just gonna pat some powder around here, because I look super oily. And also my nose, I literally powdered it. You watched me powder it, and like it's already oily again. The struggle is real. Now that I've done my brows and stuff, I'm gonna use eyeliner. This is e.l.f. You wouldn't believe me, it just looks like it's by No Brow Never. So I use this, but the end of it is frayed, so I am also going to use a different eyeliner as well, but honestly just only because this isn't frayed. So I'm just going to use this to do the actual flick, but this will do just fine. It's not run out yet, and I don't want to buy a new one. Just resourceful like that. I'm going to show you how to do eyeliner now, even though I keep rambling, sorry. Okay, I've had to readjust. So what you're going to do is obviously take your eyeliner, and what I do is, so there's two different ways you can do it, right? You can do like it so that it's down, like along here, so that way you don't have to deal with your crease that much, and you don't have to make that much of an effort. Or you can like point it upwards, but that way you will have to deal with this crease here. So I'm going to do kind of like an in-between of that, because usually I do like kind of like long, but I don't want to have to like do two. I don't want to have to wipe it off and do it all again. So I start off by looking down, and then what I'll do is I will follow from my eyeline and bring it up there. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other side. Apologies for the ugly faces. Try and get it as even as you can, just because this is kind of where you're basing it from. So I'm just going to quickly fix it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take it, and you're going to look kind of straight at your mirror, right? So if you look straight, that way you can get it, so that then you can brush it over the line. So I'm going to just take it like this and then brush over it. So you see how there's a gap? That's what you can use as your guide. Okay, so by the way, this is going to become like second nature to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're just going to drag this bit down, so that then there's like a little curve, right? And then what I do is I connect it to my lash line and just do this bit quickly. and then pull it down a little bit, but don't pull it down too much, because what we're going to do is we're going to look at ourselves straight on and then see if it actually matches up, and then you're going to adjust it from there basically. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at myself straight on, so it matches up pretty well. So I'm just gonna fill in that little gap there. Then what I am gonna do is just fix the line I created, because it's a bit wonky. I'd recommend doing this with a sharp edge, because this is frayed as hell. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm literally just gonna connect that just a bit more, so then when I look forward it connects pretty much completely. But and then what I'm gonna do is, because it's like, it's not quite there, I'm just gonna adjust how much liner is on my, like, along my lash line. Just gonna thicken that up just a little bit. Right, I'm not gonna look up yet, because that's gonna smudge the line, but that is essentially what you do. And I will come back to that in a minute to fix up this point, because it's not good yet. So I'm just gonna do the same to the other eye. Hang on. So I'll probably speed this clip up, but this, I'm just gonna show you how to do it again on this eye. But this eye is the less hooded eye, so technically it doesn't need the thing I had on the other side, which is really annoying. But you kind of just learn to match it up, because I have to, because otherwise I'm gonna look really weird. And don't worry if this takes you like a decent amount of time. I've been doing this since I was 14 and I'm now 21 years old, so if that just puts in perspective to how long I've been doing this and how much practice I've had. I will fix the other side in just a second, but take a brush that's pointy, which ideally you want your whole liner to be pointy, because this will make this process so much easier for you. And then I'm just gonna drag that, and then drag that, and then you got a nice point. I'm gonna be honest, if you find that part difficult at first, you can use concealer. Also you can, while it's wet, you can just take like a really small brush, if I can find my brush, like this, and just drag it underneath. That helps too. You know, there is no wrong way to do this. However, this line is not looking too good, so I'm just gonna fix that. Also, there's no shame in just taking a pen to fix it up. I'm only doing that because I literally don't have a liquid liner with a pointy tip anymore. Okay, so now I've done both my eyes. Obviously they're never gonna be perfect, but you know, pretty good. That's how you can do like eyeliner that's pointed up with hooded eyes. So I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup and then I'm gonna come back to you. I personally, especially underneath, I like to put a bit of black eyeshadow underneath, just because I feel like it helps even them out. Because if you've done one side, right, this is a good tip, right? If you've done one side that's slightly thicker underneath by accident or whatever, if you just use a bit of black eyeshadow under here and then thicken it up underneath under here, it makes them look perfectly even. Okay, so this is the finished look. You will kind of learn how to eyeball it. My best recommendation is if you start off just with smaller wings, it will just make your life a lot easier in trying to even them out. And also it just means that if you start off smaller and then you make it slightly bigger trying to even it out, it's not going to be that big a deal, because if you start off massive, it's quite hard to fix it once it's already huge, unless that's what you're going for. It makes it just like harder to keep going back and tweaking it. But just like I did at the beginning, try and keep the first initial line even on each eye, because it's much easier to go off of an even base. And also the skin, I'm just gonna show you it on the back camera. Obviously it's basically just your skin but better. And what I will say is that as the like natural oils in your face kind of begin to come out, it will look more like skin. But excuse this side on my nose, there's a few spots there, so that's why it's a bit bumpy. I really hope this helped you. If it doesn't work for you, maybe just try it a couple of times, you know, maybe a primer would be better, and then that way it sits better, or I would recommend starting off with a moisturized base. Obviously if you have dry skin, it just makes it really hard to apply makeup. Like, my skin is really dry, and I find that if my skin is really dry to begin with, then my makeup just, it flakes off. If the skin thing doesn't help you, then I do hope the eyeliner helped you, because it took me a really long time to figure out how to do this, and obviously when I was 14, it was like 2015, and at that point, I don't know, there wasn't really a lot of tutorials on stuff. There probably was somewhere, but it wasn't really massive, and I didn't really know I had hooded eyes, so I kind of just had to figure out on my own. I mean, this is a pretty common technique, but I just learned it over the years pretty much myself. And like I said, if it's that messy, just slap on a bit of eyeshadow, kind of blend it in, if that makes sense. Like, put some on the crease, like this corner bit, and then blend it out, and you'll be good to go. But yeah, I really hope this helped, and yeah, I'm happy to do it again. I'm happy to do eyeliner of different styles. But yeah, I just really hope this helped, and thank you for watching, and I hope you had a really good day. And yeah, just good luck. Don't beat yourself up about it. If it doesn't go well the first time, it's hard to get the hang of. So yeah, just I'm wishing you all the luck, and I really hope you have a really lovely day.